ISO 13567 is an international computer-aided design layer standard. Standard parts. The standard is divided in three parts. ISO 13567-1 to 1998 Technical Product Documentation, Organization and Naming of Layers for CAD Part 1 Overview and Principles. ISO 13567-2 to 1998 Technical Product Documentation, Organization and Naming of Layers for CAD Part 2 Concepts, Format and Codes used in Construction Documentation. ISO TR 13567-3 to 1999 Technical Product Documentation, Organization and Naming of Layers for CAD Part 3 Application of ISO 13567-1 and ISO 13567-2. Standard has been developed by Technical Committee TC10 Subcommittee SC8. Refer. ICS 01.110 35.240.10. Structure of layer names. CAD layer names are structured as a series of mandatory and optional fixed-length fields, composed as a continuous alphanumerical text string. Mandatory fields agent responsible and LT, clause 6.1 and GT, 2 characters, indicating the person or organization responsible for the layer information. Manufacturer A, architect A2, architect number 2 on the same project. B. Building surveyors. C. Civil engineers. E. Electrical engineers. F. Facility engineers. G. GIS engineers and land surveyors. H. Heating and ventilating engineers. I. Interior designers. L. Landscape architects. Q. Quantity surveyors. S. Structural engineers. T. Town and country planners. W. Contractors. X. Subcontractors. Y. Specialist designers. Element and LT. CL. 6.2 and GT follows a classification system like SFB. Building codes are Uniclass codes. Presentation and LT. CL. 6.3 and GT whole model and drawing page. E. Element graphics. D. Text. H. Hatching. D. Dimensions. J. Section. Detail marks. K. Revision marks. G. Grid graphic and dimension. U. User red lines and AMP. Construction lines. B. Border. V. Text. Title. Notes. I. Tabular information. Legends. Schedules. Tables. Query. -1 language number 1 append thickness number 1 a text height number 1 optional fields status and LT. CL. 7.1 and GT whole, no subdivision and new party existing to remain. R to be removed. T temporary. O to be moved original position. F to be moved final position sector and LT. CL. 7.2 and GT whole project, all levels, all blocks. OO ground floor. O2 second floor -1 basements are sectioned. A each elevation. A ebb elevation. B is zone A -2 second basement level. O1 A story. O1 zone A phase and LT. CL. 7.3 and GT whole duration. P pre-design, preliminary. D design. R procurement. C construction. O post construction. 1 phase number 1 3 phase number 3 projection and LT. CL. 7.4 and GT all 0 plan 1 elevation 2 section 3 3D model scale and LT. CL. 7.5 and GT all 7 1 to 500 -1000 work package and LT. CL. 7.6 and GT RC reinforced concrete SS structural steel 23 phase number 23 user defined and LT. CL. 7.7 and GT description. A subdivision. Special characters not used. Field _ relative to all possible characters. Applications. resulting length. In practice, application of ISO 13567 fields can lead to short names or much longer names. Short name samples AB 374T. Agent Architect. Element Roof Window in SFB. Presentation text. AB 374E. Agent Architect. Element Roof Window in SFB. Presentation graphic element other A374T. A24__D. Long name samples A3742OT2N01B113B23 Pro. Agent Architect. Element Roof Window in SFB. Presentation text number 2. New part 401. Block B1. Asterisk Phase 1. Projection 3D. Scale 1 to 5. Work Package 23 and User Definition Pro. A G25. DR Agent Architect. Element Wall in Uniclass. Presentation dimensions. Status existing to be removed. Other A24__DN01AB1. A3742OT2N01B113B23 Pro. T811. EN30F. Description _of_layer. E63. EN30G. Electrical equipment. A1645. ZO1A72DESCRIPTION_of_layer. ADUG CNO2C P281. F5821ABENI13C23USER. A144001M. List of layers in a standard architectural drawing. Agent as architect. Using ISO 13567 and Uniclass ACI SFB classification system. Generic layers at E. All elements. A. T. Text. A. H. Etchings. A. D. Dimensions. A. J. Section. Detail marks. A. K. Revision marks. A. G. Grid. A. U. User A. B. Border in paper space. A. V. Text in paper space. A. I. Tabular information in paper space. A. E. N. New work elements. A. E. E. Elements existing to remain. A. E. R. Elements existing to be removed. A. E. 1. Line thickness 0, 13 mm. A. E. 2. Line thickness 0, 18 mm. At E. 3. Line thickness 0, 25 mm. At E. 4. Line thickness 0, 35 mm. At E. 5. Line thickness 0, 50 mm. A. E. 6. Line thickness 0, 70 mm. At E. 1. Text height 1, 8 mm. At E. 2. Text height 2, 5 mm. At E. 3. Text height 3, 5 mm. A. T. 4. Text height 5, 0 mm. At E. 5. Text height 7, 0 mm. A. T. 6. Text height 10, 0 mm. Architectural layers using Uniclass. Using Uniclass Table G and Table H. AF1 E. Zones. AF2 E. Rooms. AF2 T. Room numbers and text. AF3 E. Circulation. AF9 E. Building space analyze. AF911 E. Usable area. AF912 E. Circulation area. AF913 E. Services area. AF914 E. Structural element area. AF919 E. Gross area. AG E. Building. A G11 E. Site clearance. A G12 E. Ground contouring. A G2 E. Building fabric. A G21 E. Foundations. A G21 E5. Foundations in section. A G22 E. Floors slabs. A G22 E5. Floors slabs in section. A G23 E. Stairs ramps. A G23 E5, stairs and ramps in section, a G24, roofs a G24, E5, roofs in section, a G25, walls a G25, E5, walls in section, a G251, external walls, a G252, internal walls, a G253, walls retaining, a G26, structural frame, columns, beams, bracing a G26, E5, structural frame, columns, beams, bracing in section, a G261, beams, a G262, columns, a G3, fabric, parts of elements, a G312, coverings or external finishes, a G321, windows, a G322, doors, a G33, internal finishes, a G331, floor finishes, a G332, ceilings, soffit finishes, a G333, internal wall finishes, a G4, fittings, furnitures, equipments, a G44, sanitary fittings, a G50, water supply, a G501, cold water, a G502, hot water, a G51, gas supply, a G52, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, a G53, electric power, a G54, lighting fixtures, a G55, communications, a G561, lifts, a G562, escalators, a G57, protection, a G581, removal, disposal, drainage, a G6, energy generation, storage and conversion, a G621, tanks, a G7, external site works, a G71, surface treatment of external site, a G72, enclosures of external site, a G74, fittings, furnitures, equipment of external site, a G77, underground drainage in external site, AHE, civil engineering works, AH1, pavements and landscaping, AH122, surfacing to pavements and hard landscaping, AH123, edgework to pavements and hard landscaping, AH132, electrical installations, AH142, fittings, AH1422, signs, AH1424, street furniture, AH735, drainage, AJ0, concrete, a JF1, block brickwork, a JF2, stone, a JG1, metal, a JG10, structural steel, a JG2, timber, a JK3, glass, AZ1V, title sheet, Z22V, annotation, Z2211T, tags, Z2212T, labels, Z2213T, references, Z22131T, room references, Z22132T, door references, Z22133T, window references, Z224I, legends, Z226E, key plan, Z227E, bar scales, Z228E, north point, Z23D, dimensions, Z24H, hatching, Z241E, hatch boundaries, Z31E, external reference, Z33I, tables and schedules, Z34E, Images, Z41E. Points, Z42E. Grid lines, Z5E. Drawing symbols, Z521J. Section marks, Z522J. Break marks, Z524J. Void and opening markers, Z7E. Presentation, Z71E. Vehicles, Z72E. People, Z73E. Trees and planting, Z74H. Hatching, Z8U. Readme and non-plotting, Z81U. Construction lines. Note: elements cut by section has been provisionally indicated as A********. E5. An alternative but longest notation could be A*********. E-2 or A***********S. Architectural layers using CISFB A100E. Substructure, A110E. Groundwork, A160E. Foundations, A170E. Pile foundations, A210E. External walls, A214E. External curtain walls, A220E. Internal walls, A226E. Internal framing and amp cladding, A230E. Floors, A240E. Stairs, A270E. Roofs, A28E. Building frames, A280E. Beams and columns, A281E. Metal columns, A282E. Concrete columns, A283E. Metal beams, A284E. Concrete beams, A285E. Timber beams, A310E. External wall completions, A314E. External windows, A315E. External doors, A320E. Internal wall completions, A324E. Internal windows, A325E. Internal doors, A330E. Floor completions, A340E. Stairs, A350E. Ceilings, A370E. Roof completions, A374E. Roof windows, A410E. External wall finishes, A420E. Internal wall finishes, A430E. Floor finishes, A440E. Stair finishes, A450E. Ceiling finishes, A470E. Roof finishes, A5E. Services non-electrical, A500E. Mechanical, A52E. Waste disposal, drainage, A53E. Water and amp liquids supply, A54E. Gas supply, A55E. Space cooling, refrigeration, A56E. Space heating, A57E. Ventilation, A59E. Parts, accessories to piped, ducted services, A6E. Services mainly electrical, A600E. Electrical, A61E. Electrical supply, A62E. Power supply, A63E. Lighting, A630E. Lamps, A640E. Communications, A65E. Telecommunications, A660E. Transports, A661E. Lifts, A68E. Security protection, A700E. General fittings and amp furniture, A71E. Circulation fitting, A72E. Breastwork work fittings. A73E, kitchens, culinary fittings. A74E, sanitary fittings. A75E, cleaning fittings. A76E, storage fittings. A77E, special activity fittings. A78E, loose fittings. A900E, external works. A910E, site information. A920E, survey information. A930E, land drainage services. A940E, landscaping. A950E, hard surfaces. A960E, utilities. A970E, fences, equipment. A980E, special landscaping. A990E,